Today we're out here in San Diego, California, Clinical TMS Society Conference. We're here just to talk to the manufacturers of these chairs, who's making them, and what they do, why they're so important, you guys. So come on. Philip, Apollo,
Yes.
Neurocare.
Yes.
How long you guys been around?
We were first FDA approved back in, or cleared back in 2019, but due to COVID, we relaunched in 2021.
Tell me, what are you guys FDA cleared for? What are you cleared to treat?
Right now, we are cleared for MDD, and we're also cleared for theta burst.
What are the side effects that come along with doing a treatment like this?
With TMS, like any TMS device, there are medication, there's always efficacy and there's always side effects. With TMS, the side effect is pain or discomfort at the treatment site. And then, of course, the most serious risk is seizure of any TMS device. Now, there are variabilities of that. Currently, we've not had a seizure.
Thank you for saying that.
That's right. We've not had one yet, which is great. We think that's due to our smaller pulse width, but it could also be because of the lack of large-scale data available at this time with our device.
How long is somebody in a chair?
Yeah, like any standard treatment for TMS, it's 19 minutes for 3,000 pulses.
Okay.
Or theta burst, which is not approved by insurance yet, but is available as a protocol, alternative protocol. And that is 3,000 pulses for 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how you do it.
Right. If I'm coming in and I'm miserable, right? And I get in a chair, what am I looking, 5, 10, 15, 20 sessions till I can feel something?
Well,
what
obviously that's patient dependent. Immediately, I think patients feel better once they sit in the chair because you've restored hope to them. You've given them a chance because they're not going down this drug superhighway.
Yes.
And most patients feel instantly better the first week. And just because they are working towards something, doing something rather than the routine of medication. Now, typically it takes about a couple weeks to where you really, genuinely start feeling some difference. And you may not feel something different as a patient because, a lot of times your clinician may see it before you, and a lot of times a lot of clinicians will actually take a picture of you on day one. Because by day 36, you're like, hey, am I really different? You're like, hey, let's look at this. Like here. And you said, you weren't driving here the first time you had a loved one, and now you're driving here. You weren't wearing makeup, and now you make up, and you said you hadn't done anything in 6 months. You just told me you went out shopping this weekend, and just
all by yourself.
You're doing different. So a lot of things you may not feel because it's gradual, but it's happening, and your clinician will see that for you. So really, it's a partnership between you and your clinician, which is just a phenomenal experience. So it's just a great tool to have, especially for clinicians as well as patients.
How do we help more people get in these chairs?
Look, I think it's exactly what you're doing right now. This is what we're doing. It's one-on-one. It's getting the news out, getting the information out, and getting beyond the same medical conferences that patients don't often see. You don't see, unfortunately, the awareness of depression as much as you may see it for heart medications out there, or obviously your weight loss now. The big ones are diabetes. But depression is just very real and so debilitating. And if you can fix this, it fixes a lot of things. So it's super amazing. So opportunities like this, which I appreciate you coming over and visiting with us, because this is an amazing time, and you putting this out there on YouTube where patients are actually getting their information these days is just outstanding. So kudos for you for creating this platform to do this.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate what you guys are doing. Like I said, I've been treating in one of these chairs, even though he won't treat me today. I've been treated in one of these chairs, I think 40 sessions I've done in an Apollo chair. It's a comfortable chair. It's not painful. And it's life-saving. So if you can, where can somebody find a Neurocare Apollo chair? How does someone find that?
Yeah, just go to ApolloTMS.com, find a provider, and we will connect you with somebody within your area or zip code.
That's perfect.
Yeah, no, thank you, brother.
Thank you so much.
So I've been in the TMS space for 8 years now.
There you
Kyle.
go.
And it's good to see you, my man.
It's great to see you, my
Because
friend.
you're like a brother, man.
Yeah.
We're a colleague, whatever, but you're brother first, so family first. It's just a clinically very sound machine, top notch. And we don't have any additional, costs associated with it for our customers, and
Yeah.
that was important.
Yeah.
So we just really wanted to provide the best clinical machine we could to our customers, so they gave that back to their patients. So that's really what it's about.
What makes Neurocare different than the next machine?
It's just all factual clinical data put out by the FDA, not us, not our company. There's two curves on here. The black curve represents the efficiency of cortical neuron stimulation. When you're doing TMS, that is what you want to do. How efficient is your coil in stimulating cortical neuron stimulation? And we stimulated at 97% efficiency. The next one is NeuroStar, great system at 92%. And then it kind of falls off with some of the other systems into the 70 and 80%. Listen, they're still efficient, but you know what? Why not give your patients the best, okay? This gold curve represents sensory stimulation. So anytime you're doing TMS, you're gonna have some scalp tissue stimulation. There's gonna be some thing that's gonna be penetrating your scalp.
Where you hear the woodpecker,
Right.
the jackhammer,
Yes.
where you hear all these things,
Absolutely.
right? And people, I believe that's a lot of the fear that people have. So I appreciate you
I
going into
agree
this.
with you. So that was important to us as a company. How do we differentiate ourselves? Our scalp
That's how.
tissue stimulation is at 50%. It's the lowest in the industry.
Right.
We have the highest efficiency at 97% in stimulating cortical neurons, and the lowest in stimulating sensory
Right.
at 50. Your patients feel comfortable. Our chair is aesthetically appealing. It's not overwhelming to them. It's not a bunch of cables, helmets going on. We want to put them in the best position to be successful, to get the best clinical outcomes. Kyle, just to add one thing, we're not a TMS company. We are a global mental health organization.
Okay. Tell me what you mean by that.
I mean, we are in all aspects of mental health. Now, in the U.S., because we're a German-based company, there's a lot of neat things that we're doing, and that's why I'm like so stoked to be here at this organization right now. I think we haven't even scratched the surface of TMS yet and what we're going to do with it, and I know you probably agree with me.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
Happy to have you here. Welcome to the Magstim area. We're happy to host you as well as host leaders in transcranial magnetic simulation from throughout the world here. We're honored to be part of this. Magstim's been around for 36 years, and we're honored to be the first company to make the first commercial research system in the world. We continue to evolve our technology to capture the best in new opportunities to treat your patients and give them the best treatment for adolescent depression, for OCD, anxious depression, and now the adolescent indication, which we just got a little bit ago. Rob here can guide us through the process of what it looks like to do a treatment with our system.
We're going to put this head sensor on so the camera knows where you are relative to the spots that we're going to save. We know we're getting the strongest thumb twitch because we'll get a waveform on the screen. Right there, so we can start hunting on it. Go ahead and make a fist and relax. So we can see we got a twitch there. We got EMG here that verifies. And now I can start hunting around.
Actually.
Thank you. So I'm going to go a couple more. So I've been doing this for 9 years. And so now it's very easy. I can do it with one hand even. Just go right back to that same exact spot I was. And I'll start going down to get my motor threshold. So I can control that on my handheld coil right here. So I'm going to line that right up there and go ahead and make a fist. So I'm going to call this his motor threshold right at 64. So all I have to do is register that so it knows the power to save that. And I'll hit next. And now it's going to guide me to the treatment location, which is defined as 5.5 centimeters forward on the sagittal plane. So the nice thing about this system, when besides fast mappings, helps the doctors, accurate, got some scientific data.
Accurate, yeah.
The difference between this and having a cap is when you have a cap on, anyone can put the coil right there where you're supposed to treat. But one tech will put it this way, one person will rotate it this way, one will tilt it this way, and the patient feels the difference of the pulse. And then they start to question, am I getting the same treatment as I got yesterday? This doesn't feel right. Am I going to get better? And they start freaking out.
Yes,
or,
they do.
You hurt me as a tech, so I want you, because he put it on, it felt better.
MRI is great. MRI is expensive. As Rob was talking about, we can actually get the data you need to map the brain to get to the right location.
Fast and accurate.
And fast and accurate. And getting your treatment in the chair, getting it out the chair, making sure you're getting. The other thing to think about is coil consistency. You want that first dose, that first pulse, and that last pulse to be the same.
So it's like prescribing a medication at a certain milligram. We ensure that you're getting that same dose of milligram every single pulse.
All the way through.
Right. There's no pulse decay at all. I'm going to tilt you back a little bit.
There you go.
So they can be in any position you want. It's a very comfortable chair. When we have taller people like yourself, you can even extend this. And
Nice.
feel good?
I do.
This is our treatment coil right here. What I'm going to do is get the right tilt and rotation that the doctor prescribed, and I can see this. This is my tilt and rotation right here. So once I get that in green like here, I can just put this on his head and then just move it right into place, and you see this green box. So now I know I have this coil exactly how the doctor prescribed it. At the end of every treatment, you're going to get a treatment score.
Okay.
So it'll tell us that this patient has been treated and 100% of the pulses were delivered exactly how the doctor prescribed it. If the patient moves at all, that green box will go away. It'll alarm the tech, and it'll give you the treatment score at the end. It'll say, 78, 90 pulses were delivered outside that box. Do you want to go ahead and re-deliver those pulses now? So it ensures that every patient's going to be 100% dosed the way the doctor prescribes it. And that's all recorded on here.
And it will just deliver the ones that weren't delivered?
Correct.
Or it's going to give the whole dose?
No, it'll say 90 pulses were delivered outside that box. Do you want to
Here's 10.
deliver those 90 pulses back?
Yeah,
and
okay.
So everybody will get 100% dosed every treatment. And the nice thing about that, we also give you some quality control. So if you had, let's say, 8 or 9 patients that were responding very well and one patient that wasn't, you could go back into that patient's chart. You could see who the tech was, what their treatment scores were. Maybe they weren't placing the coil exactly how the doctor was prescribing and they need more training. Maybe it's not that at all and it's something else, but we give you those kind of analytics so you can better help your patient.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of different coils which are recently cleared for pain.
Okay.
They have different properties, generally more broad acting than the coils that are used to treat the brain, which are more focal in nature. The idea with this pain application is you're trying to get the sensory receptors, the afferents, the fibers that carry the signals from the periphery to the brain. So the more broad you can deliver the stimulation, the better.
Some of you might remember Kerry, he mapped my brain in a MagVenture machine. That was a couple years ago now.
A couple years ago, yeah.
Right? What's changed with MagV since then?
Mostly the application of the technology is changing, not so much the hardware. So we're seeing more accelerated treatment now, multiple treatments per day, which is really showing promise in being able to drive response much faster than the older treatments, which typically were 6 to 8 weeks. Some of the newer studies have shown excellent results with applications and condensing the treatment to 5 days, or more recently with the 1D trial, a 1 day 20 times application has shown significant effectiveness.
Okay.
So yeah, some interesting results in being able to treat in a much shorter period of time, which is obviously helpful for patients who have some trouble getting to a clinic once a day, 5 days a week for 6 to 8 weeks. We do have some interesting technologies which we're showcasing here today, a robotic TMS system. We have a neuronavigation system which allows one to upload a patient's MRI and they're very accurately define targets and then pilot this robotic system. So we do have some technological advances in terms of the hardware, but most of the exciting things that are happening are really around the application and how people are using the existing technology in different ways to improve outcomes.
What diagnosis for the brain is MagV cleared to treat?
Yeah, so currently it's major depressive disorder, OCD. So that would be it. In short order, we're hoping to get anxious depression, which is basically for folks who suffer from anxiety in addition to their depression, and studies have shown that the application of TMS for the depression actually has a significant beneficial effect on the anxiety as well. So we're hopeful in mid-July of this year that we'll gain that clearance in addition to MDD and OCD.
Okay.
We also have applied for adolescents. So right now our indication is for patients 18 to 70 years of age. In mid-July, we also expect to get a clearance to be able to treat patients as young as 15. So that's exciting, as well as with some additional coils which we've added to our portfolio for cortical stimulation, which will deliver more broad stimulation, similar to the deep TMS devices from Brainsway. So we really have a broad offering of coils that allow one to do focal TMS or deep TMS. Really with the idea that we're trying to be the company that allows folks to do TMS the way that our providers want to do it. There are certain schools that say you should do TMS this way or TMS that way. MagVenture is more of a position that we want to make equipment that allow folks to do TMS the way that they want to do it.
That they want to do it.
Yeah, so not necessarily taking a position that one form is better than another, but offering hardware that allows folks to do what they want to do with TMS.
My life was saved in a MagVenture chair. Full disclosure.
Yeah.
How long has MagVenture been around?
We've been manufacturing stimulators since 1992. So primarily for the great majority of our early years, we sold to researchers. In 2015, we got an FDA clearance here in the U.S. to treat patients clinically, and then subsequent clearances for OCD, for theta bursts, and this magnetic peripheral nerve stimulation for pain just recently.
Okay.
As data is accumulated for more indications, we're gonna hopefully have more indications in the future. But we've have quite a significant history in TMS and magnetic stimulation, and by all measures, we hope to continue to offer this technology in the future and improve and increase access to patients. And my expectation is that our trajectory will continue up.
Yeah.
And we'll see more TMS and greater utilization.
More
in the
people
future.
helped.
Yeah, that's the hope. That's the idea. That's our mission.
Right. The Blossom TMS device. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, we like to call ourselves the Honda Accord of TMS devices. So we've kind of stripped everything down. So it's just bare bones. So we start at about $50,000. And we plug right into a standard outlet. We're an oil-cooled machine, so awesome cooling, and everything you need to get started. So we're FDA approved for MDD, and no other indication. So it's just
so we're just doing MDD.
Yep.
Okay.
As theta burst capable. We're not FDA approved for theta burst.
Okay.
But again, we're trying to keep the cost really, really low. But it's a great starter unit. It's a great second unit for people to have, and everything that you actually need to get going.
How long have you guys been around?
Our CEO, Christian, like I mentioned, he used to be with Mag & War. He actually started Mag & War, so the Apollo device. So he's been building TMS machines for about 15 years.
Okay.
And so we've been here in the States with the Blossom that's made uniquely for the U.S. market since about late 2022.
Just MDD, right?
Yep, just MDD.
And we are just buying this. This isn't included?
Yeah, so you can get the chair extra.
Got you.
So it's a great chair. You can see everything about our model is super compact.
Okay.
This chair is made in Italy. It actually has some air massage functionality.
Okay.
And of course it'll go up and down, recline, all of that. This is a proprietary, patented, what we like to call the head nest. So it keeps the patient's head nice and secure. As you know with TMS, this is like what I call sacred space. So when you bring the coil down, obviously you don't want anything in the way. So it's a very easy way to keep the head nice and stable, but then also room to move. If you want to switch protocols, it's as simple as just a touch screen. So there's your MDD short, your 10 Hz protocol, you would hit enable and start. So yes, enable, turn it on, and then start, and you're good to go. It's that simple.
How long are the effects lasting? If I sit in this chair for MDD, you give me 36 sessions, how long should I expect to feel better?
It's the same durability as TMS in general.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, we had at the clinics that I work out from personal experience, we had like a year-long durability would be for 70 to 80% of our patients was very, very common.
Right.
If they went through a new life event or changed medication or something like that, so we would have come back maybe 20 to 30% of people coming back for another round at some point.
Okay.
And of course, if you have, if you show the efficacy within the first round of TMS, then and you can show that with your scales.
Yep.
Then wait 3 to 4 months, and if they have a new episode, then they can come back in.
They
of
can
course,
come back.
and
Insurance will
get
cover it
that.
again.
So yeah, we had people get off maybe 4 to 6 medications, so they'd come in, do a round of TMS, get off a medication, come back in maybe 6 months later, do that again, get off another round of medication, another form of medication. So
Yeah, it's nap worthy.
it's nap worthy, right? It actually has an air massage function.
Let me see that.
Turn that on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's quite nice.
It's a comfy chair.
All Italian leather, yeah. He's enjoying the massage, so he'll be here for a little while. This is what we do.
Was I supposed to get up?
This is what we do when things are slow. We just jump in. Camel and the blue and the Bordeaux, this red.
How much is the chair?
The chair's about 8,000. Yeah,
Okay.
for the chair. If
Do you support people doing EEGs?
We do have
MRIs?
Yeah, we do have an in and out capability there for EEG.
Okay.
Yes, we have behind you. We have our TMS pilot. So as far as NeuroNav systems, Ant Neuro, Local Light, or whatnot, absolutely you can integrate with our device. Instead of your NeuroNav looking at an external monitor, you're going to actually see it right on the back of your coil. So you don't need to keep looking up. You know, it's all right there. You'll be able to just do that on the coil, to move the coil around, and then get your motor threshold determination. And that'll come out like next year, and it'll be an addition. It can just go right onto your coil if you have one of our figure 8 coils, and just snap right on. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and thank you for what you're doing. Like having a podcast dedicated to TMS, that's what we need. You know, more media. So really appreciate you.
100%.
Yeah.
That's what all you guys need.
Yeah, everybody needs that. How did you get into doing a podcast?
TMS saved my life.
There you go.
And I went on YouTube and there was nothing about
Nothing
TMS.
there, right?
Nothing that I could watch.
Yeah, I've been in it for 11 years.
3 seconds.
Why
I'm
are we
nope,
so...
I'm not watching that.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want it to be me, but apparently it's me.
Yeah, wonderful.
I want to thank the Clinical TMS Society for letting us come in here, talk to the manufacturers, see which chair is right for you. If you've got questions, reach out. We're always here to help. iTalkTMS, Kyle Hartfield. Thanks to Clinical TMS Society. I hope you guys all make it a great day.